What's going on, guys? Got a few things to open. All right. So, got a few cool things here today. And we're going to save the best for last. And that is going to be my first original art purchase. So I'm pretty excited about that. This, we have some Delotto Punisher books that are just absolutely beautiful. This is just an amazing cover. It comes in a virgin variant there. And the trade dress. And as soon as I saw this cover, I fell in love. I was like, oh man, this is... Delotto just killed it with this cover. So that's the Punisher. The new series. And it's very limited cover on that one too. I think they only did like 600 of the virgins and 800s of the trade dress. So that's a pretty rare book. Delotto did a great job with it. I'm sure there's going to be people chasing that cover. Alright, got lots of popcorn on this one. All right, this one, I believe is, what do we got here? No. Oh, okay. Yeah, this is, you know, in honor of the Venom movie just coming out, and all of the critics bashing it, but all the fans saying, hey, the movie was actually pretty good. We've got Venom #1. We've got the Mike Mayhew sketch variant, which I think is probably the best of the Mayhew variants for Venom. There was probably a good 6 or 8 different versions of this cover where they changed the background, they changed a couple things like that, but this is the sketch variant. And this one, I think, is the best looking one out of the bunch. So we've got 10 of these. I will be sending some of these into CGC. Try and get some 9/8s out of these suckers. And I'm very happy that the Venom movie is getting, you know, at least good reviews from the fans. Because I'll tell you what, when I saw all the reviews come in and the Rotten Tomatoes score of 28%, I was kind of panicking a little bit because, you know, I had been kind of speccing decently heavy on Venom. You know, you guys have seen the books. I've been picking up all the different Venom 1s and the Amazing 300s, and it's like, oh man, this is I don't need this movie to tank. So I haven't seen it yet, but I know people that have, and I've looked at other fan reviews online, and people are saying they like it, so that's pretty awesome. Alright, this one is Man-Eaters #1. This is the Stephanie Hahn's Batgirl, oh no, I'm sorry, the Middleton Batgirl 23 homage. And this is another cover that's pretty limited. And being that it's an Image #1, I was like, alright, well, it's probably worth a decent little spec. Because it could end up going somewhere. You never know. Basically, any Image #1 has a shot to be a decent spec. And this one is another limited cover. They only made 500 of them. So I picked up 10 of these. I don't know when I'll send any of these into CGC. I'm sure I will at some point. But it may not be in this next batch that I'm getting ready to send in. Alright, have to get through all this tape, man. That's why I always like to do tape pulls. It makes it a little bit easier. But at least it looks like it's packaged pretty well. I don't think any of these books are going to be damaged, that's for sure. Okay. So there we go. Batgirl 23 homage. And this is Man-Eaters #1. And we picked up, I think, 10 of these. Oh, it looks like, did I do more? Let's see. 7, 8. Did I do 15 of them? Must have done 15, not 10. Anyway, here's the second box. More of the same book in here. I'm also really excited about my first original art piece. So I've been debating original art for a while. And, you know, it seemed like most of the stuff that kind of really interested me was just super, super expensive. And I wasn't wanting to kind of go down the road of, you know, a $5,000 or $10,000, you know, first piece to pick up for original art. Because what I really am drawn to is covers. And boy, you know, you talk about original art, published cover. Man, you were talking just expensive, and there's no other getting around it. So, was able to pick something up pretty reasonable that kind of fits the criteria of what I'm looking to do. So I am pretty stoked to be able to show you guys that. Okay, so yeah, it looks like I picked up 15 of these. For whatever reason, I thought my memory was telling me I picked up 10. But so we've got 15 of the Man-Eater #1, Batgirl 23 homage, the Middleton homage. All right, so here we go. Oh, actually, from last week, from the debacle of the live stream and the reshoot, I forgot to show you guys one book, so I definitely want to show you this. So this is the Batman 880 foil variant that was at the Canadian Expo. Now I'm going to try and get this where you don't have just a ton of glare on the cover. I'm sorry if you do. But that's a foil variant, and this thing is pretty sweet. And being that you had to be, you know, at that Canadian Comic-Con to get it, going to be a little bit harder to get in the U.S. So I picked up 4 of those as well, and I will definitely be sending probably at least 2 of these into CGC initially, and then we'll kind of see what happens from there. Alright, so here's the book. This is Harbinger Wars 2, and this is by Shelby Robertson. And you know, you guys know me, I'm a big Valiant fan. We've got a lot of the Valiant characters here. Got Bloodshot, Livewire there, Pete Stanchek, that's the leader of the Harbinger kids. We've got Exo Monowar and Ninjak. So, you know, the Bloodshot movie is coming out next year, and all these other characters are, you know, will be introduced probably shortly thereafter within the movies to follow. So this is a pretty rare cover. I believe they only made about 300 of these, you know, so it's a pretty limited variant in itself. And this is really cool. So this is concept art that Shelby did. So you can see he was working on a couple different cover concepts. And, you know, all of these are signed. So you can see this is the one that he actually chose that represents, you know, the cover. Here's another one here. And these are the last two. So he basically had 6 different concepts, and then he chose one. So here is the actual art. It's 3 pieces. So you've got Bloodshot there in the middle. And then here is Ninjak and Exo Monowar. So, you know, if I'm going to frame it, I'd probably just kind of do it like that. And then we have Pete Stanchek and Livewire there. So this is actually, you know, going to make a pretty decent size, you know, piece to hang on the wall. And I've got to throw a shout out to RB3. He's going to be kind of focusing his channel on original art, and he kind of turned me on to this piece through another one of his friends that was selling it, so I'm real happy about that. If you guys haven't checked RB3 out, do so. You know, he also does some great investment videos, and he's going to be focusing his channel on original art. And let's get some kind of close-ups here. You know, the real cool thing about the original art is you can see like blue lines. You can see where you know, like he changed the position of some of the fingers. He changed the position of Pete's collar there. I mean, I really like being able to see like corrections that the artist made. So that is really sweet. I think he really did a great job here with Exo Monowar, or the detail there in the face. You know, you can see, here's another area where you can see that he changed the sword. You know, he had the sword out here, the hands were slightly drawn different, shoulder was a little bit smaller there. So you can see that as these artists are working, it's a process, you know, and you don't see that in the finished product. So that's really, really cool to be able to see, you know, get an idea of how they were actually putting all this stuff together. Same thing here with Bloodshot circle in his chest. He had it up here before and lowered it. So I just think that's really cool how you can see as the art kind of progresses as they're drawing it and they decide to make subtle little changes and stuff. So that is it, guys. That is my first original art purchase, and I'm super happy to have a published cover. It's awesome that it's Valiant, because that's kind of, you know, where most of my passion is. I mean, sure, I love all this other stuff too, but Valiant really just, that's what I loved when I was a kid. And to have, you know, 5 prominent characters within the Valiant universe on the cover is sweet. And to have it be 3 actual big pieces that can put together and have something that's a big enough a size to where you can put it on a wall and have it look good, man, that's just amazing that I was able to get that, and I'm proud to have it. And you know, I don't know when the next original art purchase will be for me, because it's something I'm just kind of getting started into, and you know, it can get kind of pricey. And especially since I'm trying to go after covers, that's, you know, published cover is the creme de la creme of original, you know, comic art. It's going to be expensive. It's going to be hard to get. You know, if this was some Silver Age Marvel cover, forget it. You know, you're never going to be able to afford it. But luckily, the Valiant stuff is a little bit cheaper than, say, Marvel or DC, so that makes it to where, you know, I'm able to afford it. And plus, it's the stuff that kind of means the most to me from when, you know, my childhood. So, guys, I hope you like what you saw here. A couple things I think are pretty cool. I mean, man, these Punisher covers. And I'll tell you what, Del Auto's done another one on Punisher number 2 in this series. And I mean, man, when I saw this, I was like, wow, Delato just killed it on this thing. So they actually only made 400 copies of this one. I think it's 400 and 800. 800 of the trade dress and 400 of the Virgin. You know, this is a cover that I could see could really pick up some steam. There's probably a ton of people that don't even know that thing exists. And, you know, with the Venom movie doing well, then I'm sure that these Venom covers are not going to slow down. I was a little bit slightly panicked when all of the bad reviews from all the critics came out, and was very, very happy to see that some other fans are like, no, the movie is good. It's not great, but it's good, you know, and they're like, yeah, they'll definitely make a sequel, and people are like excited to see the sequel, excited to, you know, hopefully see Carnage in, you know, a Venom number 2. So that's pretty awesome. Didn't get any of the Batgirl 23s, but so we've got this one instead. And, you know, Image number 1, hey, we never know. It could end up being something. I'll probably send a couple of those into CGC, maybe not in this submission, but the next one. And we'll see how that goes. So, guys, you know, thank you for watching. And I'm going to try and do live streams every Sunday around this time. Just for some consistency, and we'll see how that goes from there. But I want to thank you once again, and if you guys enjoy the content, please like, share, subscribe, and we will catch you on the next one. Thanks, guys.